Introducing Jimmie El Terror Rivera.
Welcome to MMA Noise. I'm Mike Strack along with Jimmie the Terror Rivera. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Dude, I'm alright. I'm not cutting weight. I'm not about to fight Urijah Faber. I guess the real question is, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I just finished my hard last day, so I'm gonna enjoy this weekend, recoup, and get ready for the cut and get ready for the fight.
What are you weighing at the moment? Like 158?
No, not at all. I'll weigh under 48 right now.
Right.
Around, you know what I mean? You can't get that heavy. I'm not like some other guys who cut a lot of weight. I don't know how they do it.
So, what's your mentality like 5 days out from a fight? I mean, are you thinking about the fight, or are you just thinking about recovering?
Just kind of relaxing right now. I'm at ease because my last part day is done. I've been training super hard for this fight. I've been training a lot because I wasn't sure when I was going to fight. I was supposed to be August 6th. Then that person backed out, and a lot of things go on, so I wanted to stay prepared. And now I'm just kind of enjoying that. It's my last hard day. Now I get to kind of enjoy the weekend and relax a little bit, recruit, watch some footage again, kind of go over my game plan, and then from there leave on Tuesday and start doing the weight cut and then fight.
Now you're on a 17 or 18 fight win streak.
18.
18 fight win streak, and Urijah Faber is a guy. He hasn't lost a non-title fight except once against Frankie Edgar. He's a really tough guy, even towards, I guess you could call it the later part of his career. Beating him still does wonders for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's ranked number 2 right now, and he's been around forever, and he's a legend in the lower weight classes. So to beat him throws me right there in the top 5, and maybe even title contendership. I don't know, you know what I mean. But my main focus obviously is getting that W, and beating him really puts my name on the map, and I'm looking forward to the fight.
Now, I've always said Urijah Faber is probably one of the smartest guys outside of the octagon. I mean, he's got business ventures all over the place. And you're not unlike him. You teach at Tiger Schulman. You have some business ventures of your own. I mean, is there any kind of correlations between you and Faber?
Correlations outside of it, definitely smart. He has his gym, and he runs his gym. He has fighters signed, and obviously he's definitely gonna get a cut of what they're making. And I have the same demon way. I don't really have fighters. You know what I mean?
Not yet.
I have 1 or 2 guys that fight that. Honestly, as an amateur fighters who really don't make much, and any person that deals with amateur know you don't make much, you actually pay more than you make. But I send them right away to our headquarters, and they train under Tiger Schulman and get them ready for fights. But my main thing is, I have my own franchise school, Tiger Schulman on East 23rd Street, and teaching. Fighting's always been a second passion. It's always because I'm a martial artist at the beginning of the day. I've was a wrestler, then turned fighter, or this, then turned fighter, or any issues or whatever it is. I've always been a martial artist, so it's really just to test myself and see how far, to test myself, see how good a martial artist I can be, and then kind of really see how far I can take it. I don't plan on fighting much longer, to be honest. I plan to fight maybe another year or 2, and then sit back and really just focus on my students and focus on my school, and really help the next generation and help people that come in, the average Joe, come in and get in shape, or a kid to come in and learn self-defense and be able to defend themselves against bullies. It's an important thing out there. Kids are already committed suicide. School hasn't started yet. So it's a big thing I dwell on that, and I want people to feel comfortable at the end of the day with their kids, and feel comfortable with themselves, that they look good, that they're able to defend themselves, whether it's a kid or adult.
It's funny you mentioned being a martial artist, and people like George St. Pierre, yourself, Martin Kamen, for instance, even Conor McGregor. You guys are martial artists that took your trade and your craft and made it professional, as opposed to, like you said, a prize fighter or a wrestler who turned into a fighter because Ryan Bader, for instance, or Urijah Faber, for instance. These guys were wrestlers and they were just good at fighting. Matt Hughes, same thing. Do you think that the UFC is now coming to a point where more martial artists are actually becoming champions? Like, a little more like Anderson Silva, obviously a martial artist, they're a Machida martial artist. But there was a time where they sort of fell off. Is the martial arts coming back into the UFC? Is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, I think it is coming back. I mean, you see a lot. I think one of the biggest things now is that you see a lot of fights going on. And what happened was early in the day, if you were maybe a year or so, even not that late, but if you were a really good wrestler, you were just taking down a person, ground and pound. And now you got a good wrestler versus another good wrestler, so it's going to end up who's the better in the stand-up. That's what it's really going to end up in, and you see a lot of this now. And I think that's where it's kind of going towards right now, is that you can't just be good at one thing. And I think that's one of the biggest things. People only work what they're good at. And as a martial artist, and you see as George St. Pierre, he's a great example too. You know, we don't just work what we're good at, we work what we're not good at. So we just box, or we'll just kickbox, we'll just wrestle, we'll just grapple. And then eventually we put it together too, and put it all together, punches, this and that. But you have to be able to just do one thing and be able to get good at it. And then when you put it together, it makes it 10 times easier.
Well, you know that Urijah Faber, I've known Urijah probably since 2004, I think, and you know he's going to be aggressive, obviously, and he never gives up. He's got cardio for days. What's it going to be like fighting a guy that probably you looked up to?
Yeah, I've seen him fight. I've seen him fight growing up, and seeing him fight. It's like, I like that swag. He goes in, that California music comes out to Tupac, and I'm like, it's cool. He's got a nice swag, nice persona to him, and I've met him actually before. And he's a really nice dude, and you know, I thank him a couple times already for taking the fight. You know what I mean? I've got turned down fights numerous times, and it's funny because like you're in the UFC now, and you're turning down a fight. So you know,
it's funny because even he mentioned that, and I read an interview where he said, you know, Jimmy had to. I took the fight, and it's more risky for me because Jimmy's a tough kid. He goes, you know, who knows what's going to happen in this fight? He goes, but I hear a lot of people turn him down. So even he admits that people were turning you down.
Yeah, I've got turned down. I was supposed to fight Masazaki at like the 6 or the 20. If he turned me down for Cody, you know, I think, you know, it's not. I guess it's a smart move for him. If he wants a dangerous fight, he'd rather someone that's a little more well known to get his name out there. But you saw what happened with him. Sterling's turned me down before the UFC and in the UFC. Carrie's turned me down like 3 times already. So it's, you know, it's nothing really to do. So I thank, you know, Urijah for taking the fight. I think it's really going to be like we're going to nonstop action. You know what I mean? Was the fight? I don't know. I can't tell you how it's going to play out. I don't know what his kind of game plan is. You know what I mean? I feel like more he's going to try to take me down and take it to the ground, and I feel like I'm going to be able to stop his takedowns and keep working the stand-up and feel really good because, you know, watching him and seeing where he's at, you know, I got a great game plan and with my coaches, and I've been practicing it nonstop, thinking it over and over again. So I'm feeling good about it.
Have you ever been caught in a guillotine?
Caught in a guillotine? Yeah, a couple times. Not in a fight.
Not in a fight, but in practice.
In practice, yeah. I mean, we have one of the best, Louis Galdino, and he's got an unbelievable guillotine. He won fight at night actually against John Lineker, who is a big name now. John Lineker in my weight class because he couldn't make 125 anymore. It was, you know, he was just having too much of a hard time. So Dana White bumped him up, and he won fight at night by tapping out John Lineker with a guillotine. So I'm pretty sure if I can stop his guillotine, I can stop Faber's guillotine.
You hear that, Louis? I hear Jimmy can stop your guillotine. All right, good luck, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is Jimmie Rivera, and you're watching MMA Noise.